Imagine a rustic kitchen, the air filled with the warmth of a crackling fire. Outside, frost covers the fields, but inside, a community is gathered, preparing meals that tell their stories. In this winter sanctuary, discover what peasants ate to thrive during the cold months. As the biting winds of winter swept through the villages, peasants relied on their ingenuity and the bounty of their harvests. Root vegetables, such as carrots, turnips, and potatoes, became staples, stored in cool, dark cellars. These humble foods provided essential nutrients and energy during the long, cold days. Grains, too, played a crucial role in their diets. Barley, oats, and rye were ground into flour, creating hearty porridge or bread. Each meal was a testament to the labor of the seasons, reminding them of the warm sun that nurtured their crops just months before. For protein, peasants turned to preserved meats. Salting and smoking were common methods to ensure meat lasted through winter. A piece of salted pork or smoked fish could provide the necessary sustenance for a family, bringing warmth and nourishment in every bite. Dairy products also formed an important part of their diet. Cheese and butter were staples, often produced in their own homes. These creamy delights offered both flavor and calories, adding richness to their otherwise simple winter meals. Herbs and wild greens gathered in warmer months were often dried and stored, adding flavor and nutrition to winter dishes. Peasants knew how to utilize every resource, transforming their meals into a celebration of creativity amidst scarcity. Community gatherings were a central part of peasant life during winter. Sharing food strengthened bonds and ensured that no one went hungry. These communal meals were not just about sustenance. They were rituals of resilience, reinforcing the spirit of togetherness. As winter progressed, the first signs of spring would ignite hope within these communities. The anticipation of fresh greens and new crops was a powerful motivator, reminding everyone of better days ahead. Each meal was a way to honor the cycles of nature. Peasants also made use of seasonal foraging. In winter, they could find wild nuts and berries that added sweetness to their meals. Even in the harshest climates, nature offered small gifts, demonstrating the resilience of both people and the land. The act of cooking was often communal, with families coming together to prepare larger meals. This collaborative spirit not only made the process easier, but also fostered stories and laughter, creating memories that resonated through generations. Throughout winter, preservation techniques were paramount. Jarring and pickling vegetables ensured that the flavors of summer were not lost. Each jar opened during a cold meal was like a reminder of warmer days, bridging seasons through taste. Yet, not all winters were equally harsh. Some years brought milder weather, allowing peasants to forage and hunt more freely. The variability of the seasons taught them to adapt and persevere, crafting recipes that reflected their environment's changing nature. The importance of community can never be overstated. During winter, neighbors would often share their supplies, creating a network of support. These relationships not only ensured survival, but they were vital for the emotional well-being of the community. As the cold months stretched on, storytelling became an integral part of winter evenings. Tales of harvests past and hopes for the future were shared around the fire, weaving a tapestry of culture and tradition that kept spirits high. In the face of adversity, these peasant communities thrived through their shared experiences. Each winter was a testament to their resilience, adaptability, and the strength found in unity. They faced each challenge with creativity and determination, highlighting the true essence of survival. As we reflect on the winter diets of peasants, we are reminded of their resourcefulness and the power of community. Their practices not only fed their bodies but nourished their spirits, teaching us about resilience in the face of hardship. Let us carry these lessons forward, cherishing the strength found in togetherness. As the chill of winter settled in, peasants turned to their root cellars, storing away the harvest of the year. These dark, cool spaces preserved essential vegetables like turnips, carrots, and potatoes, which became staples during the cold months. The earthy aroma of stored produce filled their homes, a reminder of the summer's bounty. In addition to root vegetables, grains played a crucial role in the winter diet. Peasants often ground stored grains into flour to bake bread, a fundamental part of their meals. The warm scent of freshly baked loaves would waft through their homes, offering comfort in the biting cold. Legumes, such as beans and lentils, were also vital sources of protein. Dried and stored for the winter, they provided nourishment and energy to sustain the hard work required during these months. A hearty bowl of bean stew could warm the body and boost morale in the depths of winter. For flavor, peasants relied on herbs and spices, often grown in small gardens or dried for winter use. Thyme, sage, and rosemary were common, adding depth to otherwise simple dishes. Their gardens, once vibrant, now offered dried reminders of summer's flavors. Preserving food was an art form that many peasants mastered. Canning, pickling, and smoking were techniques passed down through generations. Each method not only extended the life of food, but also brought unique flavors to their winter meals, showcasing their creativity and resourcefulness. Winter festivities often called for special meals where peasants came together to share their carefully prepared dishes. These gatherings were a time of joy and relief from the harshness outside. The laughter and stories shared over a simple meal fostered a sense of community and belonging. In some regions, the celebration of winter solstice brought a feast, featuring traditional foods that symbolized hope and the return of light. These meals often included roasted meats and baked goods, a reward for the labor and planning throughout the year, reinforcing their connection to the cycles of nature. Despite the hardships, the winters were a time for storytelling. By the hearth, families would recount tales of their ancestors and share wisdom gained through experience. These stories not only entertained, but also served to teach valuable lessons about survival and resilience, binding the community together. Peasants also had to be resourceful when it came to sourcing food during lean times. Foraging for wild greens and herbs was not uncommon, providing vital nutrients when fresh produce ran low. The knowledge of the land was a survival skill that had been honed over generations. The impact of local climate on peasant diets is profound. In colder regions, the reliance on preserved foods was more crucial, while in milder climates, some fresh vegetables could still be harvested. This adaptability showcases the ingenuity of peasants, who adjusted their practices based on the environment. Winter also brought challenges that tested the limits of community support. Sharing resources became vital, as neighbors would trade food and supplies to ensure everyone survived. This spirit of cooperation exemplified the bonds formed in adversity, highlighting the strength found in unity. Rituals surrounding food and mealtime often played a significant role in peasant life. Certain dishes were prepared for specific occasions and beliefs. These customs were a source of pride, keeping alive the heritage and identity of the community throughout the long winter months. As winter progressed, the anticipation of spring grew stronger. Peasants began planting their gardens, dreaming of the vibrant produce that would soon fill their tables. This forward-looking perspective offered hope, a light at the end of the long winter tunnel, reinforcing their commitment to the land and each other. The winter diet was more than just sustenance. It reflected a lifestyle of sustainability and respect for the land. Each meal represented the culmination of hard work, patience, and a deep understanding of seasonal cycles. Peasants honored their connection to the earth with every bite they took. In many cultures, winter was also a time for crafting. Peasants would engage in making tools, utensils, and clothing, creating items that would support their daily lives. This creative outlet not only occupied the long hours indoors, but also reinforced the skills vital for their survival. The resilience shown by peasant communities during winter is a testament to their adaptability. Each generation learned from the previous one, sharing knowledge and techniques that allowed them to thrive despite the trials of the season. This communal wisdom built a foundation for future generations. The seasonal rhythm of planting and harvesting was not solely about food. It also marked the passage of time in the peasant community. The cyclical nature of agriculture instilled a sense of purpose and anticipation, ensuring that, even in winter, the hope of renewal was ever present. As the days slowly lengthened, peasants would often gather to celebrate the first hints of spring. These gatherings signified the end of winter hardships and the beginning of a new cycle. Together, they would share food and stories, reaffirming their connections to one another and the earth. Through the hardships of winter, the peasant diet reflected not only survival but also cultural identity. Food became a vessel for tradition, with recipes passed down that carried the essence of their heritage. Each meal was a reminder of who they were, connected to the land and each other. The winter months, though challenging, were also a time for introspection. Peasants would reflect on their journeys, the struggles faced, and the lessons learned. This period of quiet contemplation allowed for growth, both personally and as a community, preparing them for the coming seasons. As winter melted into spring, the transition was marked by small rituals and celebrations. The first blooms in the garden were celebrated as they symbolized hope and renewal. This joy was shared among families, reinforcing the bonds forged during the long winter months. In conclusion, the winter diets of peasants were not just about nourishment, they were a reflection of resilience, community, and tradition. Each meal, each gathering, and each story shared contributed to a rich tapestry of life that defined their experiences during the cold months. As we reflect on these practices, let us remember the lessons learned from the past. The strength found in togetherness and the ability to adapt are timeless reminders of what it means to thrive, even in the harshest conditions of life. As winter deepens, the hearty diet of peasants showcases their ingenuity. Root vegetables, such as carrots and turnips, are often found in their humble meals. Stored in cool, dark places, these nutrient-rich staples remain accessible throughout the cold months. Peasants would often turn to grains, particularly barley and rye, to create nourishing porridge. This warm dish, slow-cooked over a fire, provides comfort and sustenance during the frosty mornings. In addition to grains, dried legumes like peas and beans play a significant role in their winter diet. Rich in protein, they help sustain energy levels when fresh produce becomes scarce. While winter may limit fresh flavors, peasants harness the power of herbs and spices. Dried thyme and rosemary, preserved from summer's bounty, add depth and warmth to their meals, making each bite a reminder of summer's rich flavors. Moreover, communal efforts become crucial during this time. Peasants gather to share resources, helping each other to survive the winter months. These gatherings not only provide food but also foster a sense of belonging and support. For protein, many peasants would rely on preserved meats. Salting and smoking techniques ensure that meat remains edible through winter, providing vital nutrition when crops are sparse. Fish, if available, would also play a role in their winter diet. Dried or salted fish, caught in the autumn, are valuable sources of protein that can be prepared in various ways, from stews to pies. In many regions, the hardy cabbage becomes a winter staple. Cabbage can be fermented into sauerkraut, extending its life and adding tangy flavor to meals, while boosting health with probiotics. The importance of bread cannot be overlooked. Often baked once a week, peasant bread is dense and filling, made from whatever grains are available, providing a reliable base for many meals. As the days grow shorter, the act of gathering around the hearth becomes central to peasant life. The fireplace not only warms the home but also serves as a gathering place for families to share stories and meals. Peasants also use the winter months to prepare for the upcoming growing season. They plan their gardens, mend tools, and maintain their homes, ensuring they are ready for spring's arrival and the renewal of life. Various winter festivals and celebrations brighten the dark months. These events not only bring joy, but often include feasting and storytelling, allowing peasants to bond over shared history and traditions. In some regions, winter also brings the practice of hunting. While not everyone can participate, Those who do often bring home game, providing a rare treat that can be shared with the community. Peasants are resilient, leveraging their surroundings for survival. They rely on their knowledge of the land and its cycles, which allows them to improvise meals with whatever resources they possess. Even the winter wind carries the scent of food being prepared. The warmth from a hearth wafts through the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of herbs, offering a comforting reminder of home. As the long winter nights unfold, storytelling becomes a cherished tradition. Elders pass down tales of survival, teaching the young about their history, values, and the importance of community. The rhythm of peasant life continues through winter. Each meal prepared, each moment shared, reinforces the ties that bind families and communities together, providing strength against the cold. As spring approaches, the anticipation begins to build. Peasants dream of fresh produce returning to their tables, and their experiences throughout winter shape their appreciation for the seasonal changes. Winter, though harsh, teaches valuable lessons about resilience and community. The bonds forged through shared challenges create a legacy that endures far beyond the cold months. As you reflect on the winter experiences of peasants, consider the importance of adaptation and resourcefulness in the face of adversity. Their stories remind us that we too can find strength in our communities. Thank you for joining this journey through the winter lives of peasants. May their enduring spirit inspire us as we navigate our own seasons of life, finding warmth in community and resilience. As winter blankets the landscape in a soft layer of white, the necessities of life grow scarce. Peasants relied on the harvest from the previous seasons, carefully stored in barns and cellars. The biting cold often forced families to come together, sharing warmth and resources as they prepared their meals. Root vegetables, such as carrots, turnips, and potatoes, became staples during this season. These hardy crops, often stored in damp earth, provided essential nutrients and sustenance. Their availability allowed peasants to create warming stews, nourishing their bodies against the chill. Grains, too, played a vital role in the winter diet. Peasants ground wheat and barley into flour, crafting hearty breads that could last for days. The warmth of freshly baked bread filled homes with a comforting aroma, a beacon of hope amid the frost. Dried legumes, like beans and peas, supplemented their diet during winter months. Rich in protein, these legumes were often added to soups or served alongside bread. They were a reminder of the abundance of summer, preserved for difficult times ahead. In addition to vegetables and grains, the protein sources varied greatly. Peasants sometimes raised chickens or goats, providing eggs and milk. These dairy products enhanced their meals, offering warmth and nourishment in the cold. Hunting and foraging played crucial roles in diversifying the winter diet. Wild game, such as rabbits or deer, became a valuable resource, bringing essential protein to the table. The thrill of the hunt echoed the strength and skill of the community. Foraging for wild greens also contributed to their meals. Even in winter, some hardy plants could be found peeking through the snow, providing fresh flavors and vital vitamins. This connection to nature reminded peasants of the cycles of life and sustenance. Fermentation was another technique employed by peasants, transforming surplus crops into foods that would last through winter. Sauerkraut, made from cabbage, was not only a source of nourishment, but also a means of preserving the harvest. With limited sunlight and shorter days, the communal aspect of meal preparation became more pronounced. Families and neighbors would gather to share their food, and stories reinforcing bonds that weathered the harshness of winter together. Beverages also played a role in winter survival. Herbal teas, made from dried leaves and flowers, offered warmth and comfort during cold nights. These brews were often shared, fostering connection and care among villagers. Throughout the winter, the act of cooking became a communal ritual, with children learning from elders. Recipes were passed down, enriched with stories that connected generations. This tradition not only filled bellies but also nourished the spirit. The challenges of winter forced peasants to innovate and adapt their cooking methods. Cooking over open fires or in simple earthen ovens became commonplace, utilizing whatever resources were available to make the most of meager supplies. As days grew shorter, the importance of preserving food became paramount. Peasants developed techniques such as salting fish and meats, allowing them to enjoy a diverse diet throughout winter's grasp. Every meal was a reflection of the land and its seasons. Peasants learned to respect and work with nature, understanding the delicate balance between taking and giving back. Their resilience was rooted in this connection to their environment. Winter nights brought stories and songs around the fire as families gathered to share their experiences. These narratives kept cultural heritage alive, providing comfort and continuity through shared memories. Even in the depths of winter, hope thrived among the peasants. They looked forward to the first signs of spring, counting the days until they could plant new crops. This anticipation fueled their resilience and determination to survive the harsh months. Food not only sustained life, it also played a crucial role in social gatherings and festivals. The winter solstice, for example, was celebrated with feasts, where the community came together to share their bounty and blessings. Through all their struggles, peasants developed a unique relationship with their land, one built on trust and understanding. They knew which crops thrived and which would falter in the harsh conditions, adapting their practices accordingly. In times of scarcity, sharing became essential. Neighbors supported one another, exchanging food and supplies, ensuring that no one faced the winter alone. This deep sense of community strengthened their bonds and fostered resilience. Peasants also turned to preserved foods for comfort during the long winter evenings. Jars of pickles, jams, and preserved fruits line their shelves, each jar a reminder of summer's abundance. These treats could brighten even the coldest days. As the season wore on, the spirit of adaptation was evident in the way peasants prepared their meals. They transformed simple ingredients into hearty dishes, showcasing their creativity and resourcefulness in the face of adversity. The communal kitchen often became a hub of activity, where everyone participated in meal preparation. This not only ensured that tasks were completed quickly, but also strengthened community ties in the process. Peasant diets were dictated not just by necessity, but also by tradition. Certain meals marked seasonal celebrations, keeping the spirit of their heritage alive even during the bleak winter months. The preparation of food in winter became a form of storytelling, with each dish holding memories and lessons from generations past. Elders imparted wisdom to the young, ensuring that knowledge of their culinary heritage persevered. As spring approached, peasants would begin to plan for the next harvest. They would use the last of their winter stores to craft meals that celebrated the resilience and resourcefulness developed over the cold months. The experience of winter was a profound teacher, revealing the strength of community and the importance of sharing. Through adversity, peasants learned that every meal shared was a testament to their survival and unity. Despite the cold, laughter and joy often filled the homes of peasants, food became a source of happiness, transforming simple ingredients into beloved family recipes that warmed both the body and soul. Ultimately, the winter diets of peasants were a reflection of their resourcefulness and adaptability. They cultivated a deep appreciation for the gifts of the land, celebrating each season's offerings, no matter how challenging. As the snow began to melt and new life emerged, peasants looked back on their winter experiences with gratitude. Their ability to persevere and adapt not only ensured their survival, but also enriched their sense of community. The wisdom gained through winter hardships often shaped the way peasants approached the following seasons. They learned to plant, harvest, and prepare with anticipation, always mindful of the lessons learned from the past. As they welcomed spring, peasants celebrated the return of abundance. The first crops were a symbol of hope, representing a cycle of resilience that began anew each year, feeding both body and spirit. Each meal prepared during winter carried the essence of survival, community, and heritage. These experiences remained ingrained in the cultural identity of the peasant, shaping their understanding of nourishment and sustenance. The bonds formed through shared meals transcended generations, creating a legacy of interconnectedness. Peasants understood that their survival depended not just on food, but on the relationships they cultivated throughout the seasons. Every food item consumed was a reminder of the hard work that went into its creation. From planting seeds to harvesting, peasants celebrated their labor and resilience through the meals they shared. The essence of their winter diet was woven into the fabric of their lives, teaching them the value of patience, hard work, and community. These lessons remained relevant as they traversed the challenges of life, both during and beyond winter. As they transitioned from the cold of winter to the warmth of spring, peasants carried with them the memories of their struggles and successes. Each season offered its own lessons, and they remained steadfast in their commitment to their land and each other. Within the heart of winter, peasants created warmth not just through food, but through their relationships. Every shared meal was a gathering of love, laughter, and support, reinforcing their bonds against the cold. In reflection, the diet of winter peasants was not just about survival, it was about community spirit and resilience. Their ability to adapt and thrive amidst adversity remains a powerful testament to the human experience. The lessons learned from their winter diets resonate through time. They remind us that every hardship can teach us resilience, and that in our own lives, we too can find warmth and support through our communities. As winter fades, the enduring spirit of the peasant community shines brightly. Their culinary traditions and practices continue to influence modern diets, reminding us of the importance of resourcefulness and adaptability. Ultimately, the stories of peasants and their winter diets invite us to reflect on our own lives. How do we foster resilience and community in our own seasons of challenges? Therein lies our opportunity for growth. The legacy of peasant life teaches us valuable lessons about sustainability and respect for nature. As we enjoy our meals, we can honor their practices by appreciating the sources of our food and the communities that nourish us. In every meal, we have the opportunity to connect with history and carry forward the stories of those who came before us. The flavors of the past can inspire our cooking and our connections today. As we conclude this exploration of winter peasant diets, let's carry forward the spirit of adaptation found in their stories. Each meal can be a reminder of their resilience and our potential for growth amidst adversity. The echoes of their experiences remain relevant in our lives today. By reflecting on their journey, we can draw strength from the past as we navigate our own winters, emerging with resilience and warmth.